Hey everyone, it's Steve Collins again, and thank you for registering your seat, your place in the Women's Body Transformation Fat Loss Seminar, where we're going to learn these 3 simple steps. You've made an awesome decision and you're going to learn so many things that are so useful to you that you can implement into your life straight away and start getting these crazy good results that you've been seeing on the video, and some of these transformations that we get. They all come from these 3 simple steps, okay? Now there's a few things that I'd love you to do. They're really important to help guarantee that you're going to get a seat. There's 4 things I'd like you to do, okay? They're really important. Now the first thing is I highly recommend you registering your mobile phone number so you can get an SMS reminder 15 minutes before the webinar starts, okay? That's a really important one. We have women all the time, they're so busy and they just forget these things. So register, put your number in for an SMS reminder. We're just gonna send one out. We're not gonna send any marketing or anything. It'll just be a reminder for the webinar. You can also go ahead and click the button and put it straight into your calendar. All right, your Google Calendar or whatever calendar you use. And I want you to block out an hour and a half of time, because this is not just some webinar I slapped together last minute. This is a couple of months of work for me. I put so much effort and time because I wanted to make this something that was really unique in the industry, unique about fitness and nutrition. The industry is just not doing it at the moment. So it's a really valuable webinar. So I want you to block out 1.5 hours of your time. Okay, if you could do that for me, that would be great. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to make sure you show up to the webinar on a laptop or a desktop, okay? Don't show up to the webinar on a mobile phone, okay? We're trying to fix your posture and trying to get you healthier, not make you worse by having you sit for an hour or an hour and a half on this webinar in a cramped, tight position trying to look at a mobile phone. So show up on a desktop computer or a laptop and you're going to have a great experience. We've had some feedback of ladies trying to show up on a mobile phone and the system's just not equipped for that, and it crashes and there's some problems. So show up on a desktop or a laptop and you're going to be just fine. Okay, I want you to do another thing for me. And if you want this seminar to be really successful, and if you want me and my mission to be successful, I want you to share this webinar for me, okay? Yes, we have lots of women interested. We always have a lot of people that are really keen to come and do the webinar. But it's important for you that you have people championing your own journey, people on your team. Okay, now you have me on your team, you have you on your team, but if you can get a friend or 2 to come and join this webinar and hear the 3 simple steps and start implementing them into your life, then all of a sudden you have other people on your team championing your cause because they understand it. So if you share this page, you can just click the button below. If you scroll down, you'll see a button where you can share the page onto Facebook or Twitter. I don't think too many people use Twitter here, but onto Facebook. And then other people, your friends, are going to be able to see what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve with your body, and they might sign up for the webinar too, which would be fantastic. Okay, and the last thing that I'd love you to do, I really recommend you doing, it's very important, is to show up early for the webinar so you make sure you get a seat. Because again, we always have a lot of women getting those seats. It's not my fault that there's only 100 seats available. It's a bandwidth type thing with the software that we use. It's very good software, but there's only 100 seats, okay? So if you show up 5 minutes early to the webinar, okay, you will get a seat. You'll be fine, okay? So show up early to the webinar. You'll be able to download your webinar workbook. You'll get some free gifts and all that sort of stuff, but you need to show up early. Just 5 minutes early would be fine. That would be enough time to ensure you get a seat. Okay, so those things again, I want you to block out 1.5 hours in your calendar. I want you to, if you can, I highly recommend it, put your phone number in, your mobile phone number in to get an SMS reminder. I'll also send you a couple of emails and things like that, but with the link to the webinar page. So put that down in your calendar. I want you to share the page, okay, with your friends, all right? It's very, very important because you're going to try and get a group of people that are all pulling towards the same direction. That's really cool if you can do that. I want you to show up 5 minutes early to the webinar, okay? 5 minutes early is fine, so you're guaranteed to get a seat if you show up early or at least on time. Don't show up late, okay? Because we have people missing out all the time and everybody's really disappointed when they hear how good the webinar is. And the last thing, I want you to show up, if you can, all right, do your best to show up on a laptop computer or a desktop computer. That would be brilliant. Don't show up on your mobile phone, okay? So that's really, really important. So all of those 4 things, if you do those 4 things, you're going to have a great experience, all right? So again, thanks for registering. I'm really glad I get the opportunity to share this with you, and I'll see you on the webinar.